going on out there, Scrotes? Fine day in Scrote land. Oh yeah. Well, welcome to the Scrote Rogan podcast. I'm your host, Scrote Rogan. I got a bunch of shit to talk about today. Hope you all are ready to listen. My God, it's a glorious day out there, Scrotes. This show explores the world of Chernaurus, its history, its local stories, conspiracies, rumors, personalities, and other bullshit. If you got a topic to submit, just shoot me a message, and who knows, it might end up on the show. Before we get into things, I want to thank everybody who's made it possible for this to happen. Can't really talk about who yet, but soon I'll be able to talk about it. I feel like there'll be a break in the chaos here, and we'll be able to start giving some details on this delicious group and settlement that I hooked up with up here. Anyways, it's a glorious day, Scrotes. Absolutely fucking glorious. Got one hell of a show today. Can't wait to dig into these juicy topics. So let's just get started. Look, I've been talking to you guys about Ivanov up there in Novi. I don't know if y'all remember the story, but if you tuned into the first one, the very first Scrote Rogan podcast,
Scrote Rogan,
you'll know that Ivanov, he's a moonshine guy, right? Makes the absolute best moonshine. Sponsor of the show, by the way. Well, Ivan was caught by one of his neighbors, Mrs. Wilson, in one of his barns, diddling a zombie. Okay? Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. So, they did the buddy system thing. I don't know if you remember, I kind of talked about, they said, hey, we're going to get a farmhand. We're going to stick him with you, right? We're going to make sure you're not diddling zombies anymore. You're spreading, crazy, weird STDs, all this stuff. Anyways, well, it turns out, Ivanov had another incident with a zombie. So folks have been checking in on him during his probationary period that the council gave him up there in Novi. What do you expect? He's a Russian hillbilly. Whatever. Anyways, apparently he's got another shed just north of his property. Kind of turned it into a shag shed, if you will, right? So, pretty gross. Here's what happened. Mrs. Wilson, the one who initially reported him, was walking through her goat field, walking her little favorite goat. She heard some strange noises coming from what could only be described as a sex sanctuary set up with a couple zombies dressed up in leather and tied up in some really weird positions to poles. I think it goes without saying he's back to his old antics. She knocked on the door. He left it open. It was a terrible sight. She can't unsee what she saw, poor Miss Wilson. Oh, my God. But anyways, the Survivor Council up in Novi Sober are going to hold another council meeting and try and figure out what to do next. But the bottom line, he just makes some goddamn good moonshine. So they're going to have to they're going to find a way to manage this whole thing. They're just going to have to. It's just, fuck, his moonshine is so good. Anyways, So, we have a new sponsor on the show here. I'm always excited when we get a new sponsor because they're kind of the heart and soul of this whole thing. They make it tick, man. You know, they make shit happen. Well, anyways, my fellow Scrotes, I love lung cancer just as much as the next guy. But everyone knows it's not the destination, it's the journey. And when you take a puff of a Morgan cigarette, your lungs will know the difference. Morgan cigarettes are the absolute best, made from only the finest tobacco and fertilized organically with bear shit from the western hills of Chernaurus. These smokes will give you a lunggasm, people. Try one out today. These gems come in regular and menthol. You can find a Morgan sales rep generally at the Hunter Trader and even at the Novi Market on occasion. And just remember, Scrotes, smoke it up, because that next corner you peak could be your last. Always remember that. Listen to the Scrote.
Scrote Rogan.
Smoke a lot and look around corners. Don't get shot in the face. Okay. On another note, I don't know if it's me, but I think the heater in our car is working a little better than it used to. I had to apologize to my friends the other day. We were taking a trip. Well, it was a long trip. Let's just put it that way. And I floated a little Scrote Rogan air biscuit, little ass drop in there, and it heated the car up so much I thought I was going to pass out. Make sure you turn the heaters down in there and roll the windows down if that happens. I mean, you think those chemical zones are bad? Jesus Christ! Eat some canned bacon and then float a biscuit in a car. Then you'll see. Then you'll know the truth. You'll know the truth about poison gas. In other news, let's talk about MREs for a minute. First of all, they're kind of shit, right? I mean, who doesn't love a nice, juicy beef or deer steak? Just good shit, right? But one of our compadres here found a fucking pizza MRE. Now, it takes me back because he gave me a bite of it and it tasted like school pizza. Do you guys remember school pizza? It's the absolute shit. Probably not nutritious at all. Not that you give a crap when you're 12 or 8. But it was just an orgasm in my mouth. I didn't know what to do with myself. It was so fucking good. Hold on to those. If you get pizza, look, I'll pay good money for those pizza MREs. It's a commodity. Hold on to those things. If you see me anywhere, I'll take it off your hands. That's all I got to say about MREs. There's not a whole lot of excitement there. Let's get a little serious for a minute. Okay? I want to talk about one of my favorite words. Respect. So, there are many reasons to hate rain or lightning, but the important thing is that you respect it, right? That same logic applies to bears and wolves and Zeds, but also people and their beliefs. Now, there's some beliefs that don't value human life, right? Those that don't deserve respect. like chewing on people's faces or arms and eating people. I mean, that's gross. We've talked about that before. Fuck those guys that eat people. How could you not agree with that? But, good and evil are they're just constructs, right? Once again, if you eat human flesh or you kill babies or you do any other horrific thing that doesn't value human life, you're sick and you need help. But that help could come in the way of a bullet in the face, some counseling. I guess it just depends on the teacher. But when we're talking about other people's beliefs, religions, factions, whatever it might be, the same basic principle applies. Right? If there's beliefs, whatever they believe, values human life, then they deserve your respect. It doesn't matter if they're thieves or robbers or bullies or saviors or people who claim to be saviors of these lands, or just something in the middle. Give them some respect, right? We all have to coexist on this rock. If you want real change, you want real peace among the masses, just show them some goddamn respect. It's pretty easy to do. Sometimes it's just saying sorry or lending a helping hand to somebody, complimenting them for something good they did. Anyway, don't be afraid to look your fellow brothers and sisters in the face and just let them know you respect them. All right. I had to say that. Enough of that philosophical bullshit. Now, we've had a large number of reports of car accidents. A lot of them were on some of the smaller highways. Look, wear your goddamn seatbelts, first of all. They save lives. Just wear it. It's not a big fucking deal. Just wear the damn thing.
The Scrote Rogan podcast.
And look, as far as that goes, you might want to lawyer up. We had somebody the other day immediately started complaining of back pain. I got a feeling that we're going to have some ambulance chasers coming along here pretty quickly. Some guy's going to walk in and he's going to take that market. He is. He's going to go around suing people's asses off. I mean, drive carefully, for fuck's sake. And get a lawyer. I don't know any. Don't ask me. I have no idea. There's got to be one out there. It's one of the reasons you got to talk to people. When you're hanging out at your hangout spots or places where people gather, fucking talk to people. And when you're talking to them, small talk, tell them a little bit about yourself. Who are you? What made you you? So come on. And by the way, just don't wreck cars. It's just not a good idea. All right, so a group of us are. I'm going to call us here. I'm going to give us a name. We're flag heroes. Let me tell you what happened the other day. We're driving around. We see this guy that's got a base, right? He's got it claimed. Guess what? His flag is at the very bottom. He took it down like a disgrace. What did we do? We did. We could have gone the wrong way with this, but we did the right thing. We raised that goddamn flag. I think we're heroes. Flag heroes. Not going to get a thank you from anyone. You ungrateful cunts. I love y'all anyways, though. What a great group. Also, a lot of you may already know this. I don't know. But you're not safe in your cars from a lot of animals. They'll just fucking chew the door off and beat the absolute shit out of you and bite you. Don't let that happen. if you see a bear, you see some wolves, just get the fuck out of Dodge. Just run. Drive fast. Get away from them. Don't think you're driving around in some impenetrable freaking tank, because you're not. I've seen a lot of good people get murdered from animals doing that shit. Well, let's move on to one of our sponsors. I need to plug another product here. So I want to talk to you guys about one of my favorite sponsors. This is a product called Crazy Ed's Tank Cream. Now, listen. I need to share this with you. I have to share this with you. Crazy Ed's Tank Cream is the #1, out of Electro, by the way, #1 in scientific cream research. This cream has a long list of sophisticated ingredients that I can't even spell. Plus, the main ingredient comes from the algae in the rivers of Electro. Now, why is the algae special? You're going to ask yourself, why is this algae special? I'll tell you why. It is fertilized not only from the corpses of dead zombies and the fecal matter of the residents of Electro, but also a special sea bass semen where they fertilize the eggs down there. It's amazing. Nature's a wonderful thing. It's absolutely fucking amazing. Always fresh, always really sticky. Although its main use is the treatment of itchy genital areas, it also has 101 other uses, including but not limited to a bunghole stench remover for you stinky asses out there. By the way, also eye booger reduction. If you got some grass allergies, just put a little bit in the corners of your eyes and we'll just tone that shit down. Also, asshole inflammation and bleaching. Now, if you turned into the previous podcast, you'll know that Ivanov's ass cream out of Cherno also bleaches your asshole and brings inflammation down. So for you guys running around with wet pants, maybe you popped a hemorrhoid, taking a huge shit in one of these outhouses out back, sharpening your knives, and I know it was you. I saw the sharpening stones. Put some of that on there. And by the way, you get the bleaching effect, which is nice if you nude sunbathe. People will be like, hey, look at that guy. He's got a bleached asshole. Or girl. It's not just for men. It's also an elbow smoother. You got calluses on your elbow from being prone all the fucking time. Ear canal cleaner. And many, many more uses. And, as Crazy Ed always says, keep my cream warm in your pouch with his best cream. He's a weirdo, that Ed. Such a weird guy. Okay, well, Ed's great. So we talked about in the last episode the feud that's going on between those two. So there's Crazy Ivan's ass cream and then Crazy Ed's tank cream, right? These two guys in Cherno and Electro have been going at each other. We talked about it escalating, in our story last week. The sabotage that's going on over there. He put a tripwire with a flashbang in one of his factories, and it absolutely sizzled his tank. Then Ed put gas in Ivan's water supply, gave him violent diarrhea for about 3 days. Look, it's gotten worse. There's been reports of gunfire. I think they've got their cronies shooting at each other now on supply runs. Look, if you see these guys, talk some sense into them, would you? For Christ's sake, I mean, it's just creams, No one needs to die over that shit. Okay. I told you last episode we're going to talk about we've been talking about conspiracy theories. And specifically, those are related to the beginning of the apocalypse. So, how did all of it start? Right? There's a lot of theories, tons of them, and some of them are way more plausible than others. I want to talk about the first one. And this one's pretty believable, and there's a little evidence to support it. So if you go up north, there's a military base up there. It's a place called Kamensk. And there's reports of people that have seen inside this little dungeon hive of chemicals and zombies and a lab. It's locked up now. You can't go down there, but you can certainly see it if you look down through the grates there. And there's a lot of people that believe that that's where all this shit started. So if you don't know a lot about the history of the war here and what happened in the past with the Chernaurus movement of the Red Star, I believe it was called, they did a lot of experiments. And one of those experiments was said to be mutating the rabies virus. So a lot of people believe that's where it started. I don't know. I know this shit just didn't happen. If anybody has any information, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to know more. I've been trying to get to the bottom of this for I don't know how long. There is another one that I don't talk much about. It's the alien or UFO one. Come on, guys. Where's the evidence? You know? Somebody show me a crashed UFO or something. And then maybe, you know, okay, I'll go take a look. We'll talk about it. But other than that, come on. Blowing smoke at my ass. Really excited about the new sponsor, Oregon Cigarettes. That's great. We're already getting new sponsors here, but one of my favorite sponsors, a woman of extreme courage. I want to talk a little bit about her first. So, Widow Ellen, a lot of you may have heard of her. Maybe some of you haven't. I don't know. She's pretty infamous. I guess she first became infamous because she was the widow of the former CDF general, Konstantin Semenov. But Ellen, after realizing that she would have to wear extra tattered rags to her husband's funeral in her special area due to her cycle starting, because, folks, nature, right? Nobody thinks about feminine hygiene anymore. They just don't. What, do you think that just went away with the shit going on in the world right now? No. You can't go to, I mean, what, you're going to go down to the store and buy Tampax? No. And you get respect, among everything else, respect that women have to have these things, people. Now, look, what she did is revolutionary. So she decided no woman should ever have to go through what she went through. Especially dealing with that at her husband's funeral. So she designed a special and revolutionary product that is truly a breakthrough in women's hygiene. This all started with her invention of the NVG-HSPPR, or Night Vision Goggle Head Strap Performance Period Rag. And with this low profile and jock strap-like fit, it allowed women in the apocalypse to not only manage that healthy flow, but stay agile and alert. And it's saving lives. I mean, you don't really think about it, but she's brilliant because, when you think about it, you take a night vision head strap and you turn it upside down and you put your legs through it, boom! Absolutely fucking brilliant. She's such a smart lady. And not just for that, along with several other products now available in her store in Gorka. She also sells the MMSA, or Magnificent Mammary Shock Absorber, because let's face it, plate carriers hurt titties. Also for guys with man boobs. Let's be gender neutral here. Also the Combat Ready Milk Extractor, or CRME, for those mothers in combat. And also for days of heavy flow, the EANVGH SPPR, or the Extra Absorbent Night Vision Head Strap Performance Period Rag. In any case, and whatever your needs are, as a strong female in this apocalypse, visit Widow Ellen's store and shop till you drop. A brave woman. God, anybody who's listening, I appreciate it. All two of you. If you got sponsors, you got someone with a product, you want me to plug it? I'd love to. All I ask in return is a little donation for the cause here. You can talk about it. You can have a conversation about what we think is a fair donation. I don't know. It's, here at the Scrote Rogan podcast, we're not greedy.
Scrote Rogan.
We don't want a whole lot of stuff. Just trying to survive like everybody else, We want to build better lives.
The Scrote Rogan podcast.
Anyways, I got all kinds of other shit to talk about, but we'll save some for the next episode. So look, I appreciate everything you guys do, and I really appreciate your listening. Everybody, stay safe out there, okay? Peek your corners, stay warm. Don't point guns at people's faces unless you're meaning to kill them, and you make sure you can back it up. Freshies, don't point guns at people's faces. Hard lessons to be learned there. And for God's sakes, feed yourselves and stay warm. And that's all I got, really.
The Scrote Rogan podcast.
You guys are fantastic. Thanks for tuning in, and submit some topics to me. I'd love to talk about them on the show. Oh yeah, use proper gun safety. Very important. And shoot people. Bye-bye.